I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com, and part 2 of a dogfight battle between the HTC Windows Phone 8X and the Nokia Lumia A22 starts in just a second, but first, special thanks to our partners at Best Buy Mobile for giving us devices just like this for use in our One Pull Bandit giveaway game, which we turn around and give to you on the site for free at instantwin.phonedog.com. When you walk into Best Buy Mobile, you're not going to deal with rebates. I hate paperwork. I hate waiting 8 to 10 weeks for those debit cards that you never use anyway. At Best Buy Mobile, you'll walk out paying the after rebate price. Let's take a look. 8X, Lumia 822. Which device is going to win? Let's find out in a dogfight, which starts right now. It's part 2 of a dogfight video between the two Windows Phone 8 devices available on Verizon. One is the HTC Windows Phone 8X. Nice device, $200, and it's bringing some exclusives to Verizon, namely wireless charging. Even though the 8X is available on T-Mobile and on AT&T, wireless charging is exclusive to the Verizon wireless version. Other specifications include a 1.5 gigahertz dual-core Snapdragon S4 CPU, a 4.3-inch HD display, 720p. That is an 8-megapixel camera with 1080p HD video recording, a 1,800 milliamp hour non-removable battery, and then Windows Phone 8 along with 4G LTE connectivity on the nation's largest wireless carrier. Then you have the Nokia Lumia 822 over here. A little bit of a cheaper device, at least in terms of price and in some ways in terms of specs as well. The device, the build quality is a little different. It's a Lumia device with a 1.5 gigahertz dual-core Snapdragon S4 CPU. So same processor, 4.3-inch display. It is not HD though. 8-megapixel camera on the back with 1080p HD video recording, 1,800 milliamp hour removable battery with a micro SD card slot. This does not have a micro SD card slot, so when you reach 16 gigabytes of internal storage, you are out of luck on the 8X, so keep that in mind. 8-megapixel camera, like I said, 4G LTE connectivity over here, much cheaper on Verizon at $49.99. So you're saving some more money. Is it worth getting rid of the HD display and paying $49.99, or should you go with the HD display and the better build quality and go with the device that's $200 on Verizon? We're going to find out a little bit more in part 2 of the dogfight. Let's jump right in to the cameras on both of these devices. I want to knock that out because they're both 8-megapixel cameras. And we'll load this up. 8-megapixel shooters on both units. And I love the fact that on Windows Phone 8 you can easily swipe between the gallery and the live image itself. So you can see that image that I took. And here's an image just to show you what text looks like. And I showed the Lumia 822 press release that Verizon sent over when the device came in. You can see very clear text all around the chip on this. Very nice. Then, of course, HTC does a great job in this department with their high-end units. I'm going to bring over this Galaxy Note 2 that's sitting on my desk so you can take a look at it. And that was with the flash on. Let's go ahead and turn the flash off. And there you can see what an image looks like. So logo is nice and clean, easy to see, beautiful image over on this device as well. Very pleased all around with the overall look and feel of cameras on both. And then of course you have some goodies that come in Windows Phone 8 as well. And I'll show you those right here. For example, Bing Vision. These are basically camera lenses you can install atop this. So this one has Bing Vision as well. And you're like, well, what else is there beside Bing Vision? Let me show you what you can get in the Microsoft Store, and I'll take that time to talk a little bit about Microsoft Store itself. It's not quite up to par as the Android Store, Google Play, and then of course the App Store on the Apple side, but what you do get is some great collections of applications, some of which are HTC or Nokia exclusives. Here are some applications that you can take advantage of in your camera. For example, Photo Beamer, Smart Shoot, Cinemagraph, and I give the edge to Nokia just because they've got a ton of stuff you can do with your camera. Over here, it's a bunch of HTC applications, which are great, but you don't get anything like Creative Studio, Panorama, excuse me, I think I'm losing my voice. Panorama, and then of course a couple of different filters. So I can install Panorama, for example, and use the device obviously to take a panorama shot, and that'll appear and live right within my camera application. So that's a really nice feature there. That said, the overall image quality is fantastic on the HTC 8X, and one thing I really like, and I find myself missing this when I'm not working with HTC Windows phones, the lock screen. Absolutely love the fact that the weather pops up just like that. It's a beautiful HTC thing. It looks just as good as it does on Android. And again, I like the new things that Windows Phone 8 brings in terms of ease of use and shortcuts. So as you can see here, there's that. And let's jump right into the People Hub as well. I want to start out with the Me Hub so you can take a look at that. The Me Hub is not the actual name. It's just called the Me Tile. And you can see right here, bam, it brings up my Twitter account. I can post an update from either one of these, and I can post it to Twitter. If I had other social networks shared on this, I could post to something else, but I can easily post a quick update. From there, I can see notifications, people that have mentioned me in tweets, people that are following me or that have replied to me, and I can check in and set chat status as well if I want to, all from this hub right here. Let me check in, pick a place, and I can move back and forth between that. And of course, I've got it down on both of these devices, and it's showing my Twitter picture right now. So you can see right there as well, and the person or people that have mentioned me throughout the day in tweets. Now, this is the PhoneDog_Aaron account. Just as a note, as a reminder, I am leaving PhoneDog on December 31st. If you want to keep in touch with me, my personal Twitter handle is Aaron C. Baker. I'd love to hear from you about this dogfight, both before and after December 31st. Hit me up there and let me know what you think. The PhoneDog_Aaron account will be shutting down pretty soon. So keep that in mind if you do communicate with me on a regular basis on Twitter. But let's take a look, jumping away from that and jumping into some more exciting stuff, because you want to talk about exciting things. I want to talk about the value-added applications that Nokia brings in over here. One of those is Nokia City Lens, and we'll bring that up. And we've played with this before in quite a few reviews and dogfights, but you know what? I'm obviously in Dallas, live in Dallas, so let's find some food around the office. And I can calibrate the compass. I'll find some food over here, and I can either do it in portrait mode and see all those laid out pretty quickly and pretty easily without a lag, or I can switch it over into landscape mode and I can see them in kind of real time. So you can obviously see the compass over here. I can see McDonald's across the way. I can see Dairy Queen. I can see Egg Roll Express. I can see Fish on Fire and more. And then of course I can see my laptop. I can see Theo subs, and I can click on those and get navigation. Same thing with food, same thing with hotel sites and more. So when I'm in a new city, let's say I'm traveling, or not even in a new city, let's say I'm in San Francisco for work, I'm there like 20 times a year, or New York for work, I can pop it up wherever I'm staying and easily find a place to eat, a place to stay, and a place to do some cool things or sightsee, and I really like that feature. Also something obviously, as you would expect, that works really well with Windows Phone 8, Outlook.com. It's Microsoft's new mail service. I happen to be one of the first. I got a great email address with Outlook.com. Very quick and very easy to use on both of these devices. So we'll load up Outlook so you can see what that looks like as well. I'll load it up over here as well just to show you the two different themes. You can obviously switch between dark and light on both of these units. So you can see emails, Windows Phone over here, and all I have to do to delete that and scroll back and forth and just click over there on the side and delete multiple messages at once. Or I can switch folders and more. Pinch to zoom, responsive again through here. Very responsive, very fluid user interface. That said, it does still exhibit an element of simplicity. So if you're somebody that really likes that complex feel of Android, you like to root, you like to hack, and you like your device to feel like that, like it's got a bunch of features, I think there's a distinct feeling that people get when it comes to that. You either really like a simplistic device that's just easy to use and kind of always works, kind of like iPhone, kind of like Windows Phone 8, or you want that device where you can tinker and play with it and find different settings and different features. That's where Android comes into play. I'm still learning stuff every day about Android, finding new features, because honestly, you're paying for HTC now, you're paying for Samsung, you're paying for LG and Motorola to develop new features and new little quirks within Android. So for example, I'll find a new feature that the Note 2 has, or a new feature that the One X Plus has that I wasn't aware of before just by going through some of the settings. So that's for somebody that wants to tinker and play with their phone on a regular basis and find out new things over the course of the 2 years of ownership. Over here, love the simplicity of this device, or of these devices, of the operating system, I should say. Very clean and very easy. Now, call quality on both of these, very impressive all around, and I'm very surprised at the standby time on both of these also. Both have a 1,800 milliamp hour battery. I can't really give an edge to either one. Honestly, they're about the same in terms of battery life. If I had to give a slight edge, it would be over to the Lumia 822. This obviously is an HD display, and where you really see it is not on the tiles like this. Where you really see it is when you go into pictures, go into photos here and take a look, for example, and find a photo. Let's see what we can find. Camera roll. No, actually, let's go to albums and see what we can find. One of the 8 pictures. And here's where you can really see that HD display at work. Really a nice HD display. This is a really well-crafted device. I love the way this phone fits in the hands. Very impressed all around with this phone. And Windows Phone 8 continues to gain traction. If they make beautiful hardware like this, I think a lot of people are going to gravitate over to the Windows Phone 8 platform. Over here, this one's a little bit meatier. It definitely does exhibit that mid-range look and feel. Compare this to the Lumia 920, which specs-wise is very similar in a lot of ways. Obviously a bigger display and more, but still, compare it to the 920, and there's really not that much that's different about this device, and it's $49.99 as opposed to $99 on AT&T. So Nokia is really hitting these low price points with both of their devices, but honestly, it's hard to justify this at $50 versus the Lumia 920 at $100 because you're not getting that many more specs. It's easier just to buy this and pay $50 because honestly, specs between these two devices, it's not that different. It's kind of like buying, I don't even know of a good example for you. It's kind of like buying, I always like to use car examples, but I can't really think of a good one here. It's kind of like buying a, I don't have anything. I got nothing. But you know what I'm trying to say here, where they're both very similar across the board. And you think you'd be happy with either one. Applications look good, and this is one thing I wanted to highlight before we signed off. Obviously, you have Xbox Live integration on both of these, And then you have VZ Navigator over here. Wallet's really useful, where I can come in here and I can store my coupons, credit cards, and more. I can get started, and I can add a plus sign to add a new credit card. And we'll add a new card, for example, to the wallet. And I'll show you the way that the overall user interface looks on this device. So I can enter the credit card here and use next. And then I can use this wallet for purchases and more. So really nice that that application is coming out of the gate. Both of these devices have NFC capabilities. Tap to send, which is really nice. That's what they're calling it in Microsoft Windows Phone 8. Another great thing about both of these devices, Kids Corner, which I've highlighted a couple of times in some Windows Phone 8 reviews, but I'll show you what it's like over here. Settings, you got your kid that plays with your phone. You don't want him or her to call somebody or email somebody at work. So what you do is you come down to Kids Corner and you turn it on, and we're going to add some applications. Let's say kid gets camera, calculator, alarms, and Foursquare, and that's about it. We're not going to set a password, but what you can do is set a password so they can't access your screen, but what they can access is their own Kids Corner. So Kids Corner, you just have to swipe back and forth. As soon as you swipe to the left, you can access Kids Corner and swipe it up, and they get to have their own fun with Kids Corner and customize it to their own. So this is Johnny's Kids Corner. His name is Johnny, and we're going to go back, and this is Johnny's Kids Corner. So when I'm done, all I have to do is turn it off and back on, and then Johnny's Kids Corner starts right up just like that. So I can customize. Of course, I can do the same tile customizations. I can't remove the applications, but I can change them around and make this however I want it to look in terms of look and feel. And of course, I can change the font, or excuse me, the color and the black and white background. So that's a cool feature. You can customize it, and when you're done, you just turn it off and back on, and you can go right back to your main area. So both of these devices are great, and again, this is one of those things where it's not like Android, where it's not like an HTC versus the Samsung battle, where it's like 87 Samsung features, 87 HTC features, which one's better for the mainstream consumer? No, these are really similar in a lot of ways, and you're getting some better value-added applications with Nokia over here. I don't know that those necessarily translate into a huge deal when it comes to this device. Where I think a lot of people are going to look at this is price. If you walk into a Verizon store, this is 50 bucks, this is 200. Which one are you going to go with? This one has some great value-added applications. This one's kind of run-of-the-mill when it comes to applications, with the exception of HTC's apps. But what it does have is a gorgeous build quality that I think a lot of people are going to love. So the winner of the dogfight is the HTC Windows Phone 8X. It definitely wins the dogfight by a mile, just because of the design, because of the HD display, and again, because of some of HTC's applications and the fact that it has some fantastic features out of the gate. That said, this is a fantastic device. Do not want to sway anybody away from this device. And honestly, if you're looking at these and you're like, is there enough to justify? Here's where this dogfight gets tricky. This one won, but is there enough to justify the price difference between 50 and 200? Not really, unless you like the design of this. If design is that important to you, go with the 8X. If design's not that important to you, you still want a powerful device. This is almost equally powerful. If you can avoid the HD display and avoid the build quality, it's going to be just as good of a device. Keep it locked on PhoneDog.com for continuing coverage of Windows Phone 8 and more. Be sure to follow me on Twitter. Aaron C. Baker is my personal handle. PhoneDog_Aaron is shutting down this Friday, being transferred over to PhoneDog_Taylor. I'd encourage you to follow him as well. He'll be leading PhoneDog on the day-to-day when I leave on December 31st. So keep it locked on PhoneDog. We've got a lot of exciting things coming up for 2013. Keep it locked on the site for continuing coverage, and as always, we'll see you next time.